Philip Pearson, who was your best interview with? Be it because you're a fan or just because of their personality? There's been a few fun ones over the years. Joy Williams recently was just someone that I felt like I could actually be mates with. She just felt like a really nice, just normal person. She had a really good like aura without sounding too hippie. There was something really nice about her. Brandon Boyd is another one that when I sat down with, I thought, God, he'd be just a nice mate to have because he's quite tranquil. He's very intelligent, very eloquent with the way he speaks. He was also very down to earth. He wasn't like rock starry. He was just a normal, intelligent, kind of creative. There was something spiritual about him, and that was nice as well. The Darkness were hilarious as well. I can't help but smile when I see the guys from Moose Blood as well. They are some of the nicest people I've met in the last year. Only like been in their company a couple of times, but they're so humble and they're just really pleasant, nice people. And unlike a lot of bands, they actually look happy to see you, which is nice, because I can't tell you how awful it is when you're on a red carpet and you can see a band coming towards you and you can tell that they just don't want to talk to you. It's a shame because, you know, we're just doing our job and they're just doing their job. It's always a lot easier if we can just kind of work together and just like muddle through together. But anyway, so yeah, Moose Blood, lovely guys and great band, so I really hope they get all the success they deserve. There's been a few really nice ones, I can't think offhand, but those ones came to mind. Abby Bass. I would love you to interview more modified girlies like Grace, tattooists or not, like Monomi Frost, or tattoo artists like Valerie Vargas, Hannah Quills and Miss Becca. Well, I would too, but obviously it depends on, one, whether they'd want to talk to me, two, I don't get paid for this, so for me to travel to where they are costs money, so that's something I always have to be wary of. But if they're happy to meet me in London or something and do it, then that's definitely something I can look into. Would you interview discuss gender fluidity and figuring out sexuality? With the Ruby Rose thing and more girls coming out in the media, it has brought up some personal stuff to the surface. I'm sure there's girls who would talk about their experience. I agree, I'd love to do an interview or some sort of video about this. I've really wanted to do videos about sexuality, you know, people that have dealt with coming out, and I've always also contacted people because I want to do a video about you know, living with illnesses such as HIV as well. So if you know anyone that's willing to talk about their sexuality or illnesses that they live with or have overcome or anything like that, please feel free to get them to get in touch with me or comment below and we can sort something out, because I really want this channel to kind of delve into those more kind of hard-hitting areas, because I want it to help some people. Okay, so Sophia B, how did you become an interviewer, and maybe something I want to do in the future. Like I said in my old Q&A, it's just something I fell into. When I was ill, I started doing a lot of blogging because I could still do that even when I was stuck at home and not feeling very well. And then that led to me working for a website that said, we're going to start doing more video content. Do you want to do an interview? Did one. It kind of went all right, and it just kind of kept on going. And I think it's actually quite easy to get into, because so many, I'd say the majority of music websites now, they don't pay their contributors. Most people just write or work for them because they have an interest in it, or they're trying to create a portfolio for themselves, build experience, etc. So therefore they're very happy to give people the opportunity to do things like video interviews. So if you start writing for a website, which like I said, I think it's quite easy to do these days, I think if you just make it clear to the editor that you'd like to try it out, hopefully they'll let you give it a go. And if it goes well, things usually carry on from there. You just start doing more and more, and who knows what that will lead to. I will say though, I wouldn't say that to think of this as a full-time career because, like I said, most places don't pay at the moment. So if you can do it alongside something else, then awesome. With all the great musicians you've interviewed, has it ever made you want to start creating music? What's your favourite movie? Ooh, tricky ones. And that is Fallen Leaf. I did music GCSE actually, so I did used to create some compositions. They were pretty turd, to be honest. But because of my job as a music journalist, it has led me to a kind of helping bands out over the years. A lot of bands have come to me when they're making their albums just for, you know, opinions and stuff, because I think when you're working so closely on a project, on something that's yours, it's very hard to kind of get a proper view of what it is from an outsider's point of view. It's like when you do a piece of art, sometimes you need to step away from it for a few hours or a few days and come back and you have a whole new perspective. So there's one band quite a few years ago, I remember I was helping the singer with the lyrics because he was struggling with that. There's another band that come to me quite a lot when they just want someone to kind of help them figure out which are, you know, the obvious singles on the album, the ones that stand out that might lead to commercial success. There's others who have asked me just to tone what sort of vibe I think it has. Like I can quite often hear, oh, that's kind of got a Red Hot Chili Peppers vibe, or that sounds kind of almost Radioheady, and so they can kind of gauge what direction the overall theme of their album's going in from that sort of thing. And sometimes I've had to be brutally honest and say, okay, the producer has absolutely ruined that song. I would actually leave the producer and start again, or that the demo was better than what the producer did, so I would, you know, go back and start again. And that's tough, but at the end of the day, they want to put out the best work because this is going to live with them forever, so you do have to be honest about that. Sorry, I've waffled a bit there. I'm not sure I could ever make my own music, but I very much like having a little bit of input into other people that are skilled in that area. It's nice to put in my 2 cents every now and again. My favourite movie, that's so hard because I watched 4 movies this weekend. I'm constantly watching films, so for me to remember for me to pick out just a few is impossible. But let's think. Obviously there's like the classic nostalgia movies, like, you know, Goonies, Big, Stand By Me, those sorts of films. And then love Quentin Tarantino, like I loved Django Unchained. I thought that was really cool. And I loved Kill Bill actually at the time. I really liked Kill Bill. Fight Club, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Edward Scissorhands, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, 2 Days in Paris, Atonement. Oh, I'm just looking at my collection up here actually. I've always enjoyed the kind of dark humour of In Bruges as well. Like most Leonardo DiCaprio films, I think he's incredible. Thinking about it, films is a topic I'm extremely passionate about, so if you want me to do some more videos on films, whether it be reviews or me just compiling a list of my favourite whatevers, let me know if that's of interest. Catherine Harold, what would you have done job-wise had you not become an interviewer, blogger, vlogger, and what's your favourite part about being an interviewer, blogger, vlogger? Hope you're well. Hope you are well, Catherine. You're always very lovely to me on Twitter, so thank you. Well, I worked at Alexander McQueen for a bit as an artwork assistant, creating designs and things like that. So if my health had allowed, I probably would have carried on doing that. I had to turn down the opportunity to go to Paris actually for the show just because I wasn't well enough, which is one of my biggest regrets, but hey, what can you do? So I might have carried on doing that, working for designers. I also worked as a stylist assistant, but yet again, I don't think people realise how physical that is a job. As a stylist assistant, you have to pick up all the clothes, the shoes, the accessories that the stylist wants for a shoot, and they often don't give you a budget to use a car. So you are going to PR offices, one end of London, picking up bags of things, then going to the other side of London, picking up more bags, and you're carrying all this stuff all around. It can be quite tiring. So I soon realised that I didn't have kind of the energy levels for that either. sadly, but so maybe I would have done that. I also used to do children's parties. I'm not sure whether that was my ideal job, but it was fine and there were some fun moments. Like I said earlier, maybe working at Battersea Dogs Home, something like that. Or, this is something I've been thinking about lately, is I really want to make a documentary of some sort. But yeah, that's probably just a pipe dream, but we'll see. Marie Ku? I don't know, sorry if I've said that wrong. How did you become an interviewer, and mostly this person you are right now? And another question, are you living your dream? So I've answered the first part of that already. The person I am right now, I guess everyone is the person they are in this moment because of everything that happens to them, the good and the bad. I'd say some events of the last few years, some really pretty awful and upsetting events over the last few years have kind of contributed to the way I am today, because it's changed my perspective on a hell of a lot of things. Some positive changes, some negative. I would say I'm a bit more cynical and a bit bitter and jaded about certain aspects, but at the same time I do embrace the good things a bit more as well because I've seen how bad things can really get. I guess my constant battle is trying to be a good and nice person, but also showing strength to not let people mess me around and take advantage, I guess, and that's always been a bit of a struggle. I think if you've always been a relatively meek person, easygoing person that goes, just, you know, does what they're meant to do and doesn't really argue too much, I think people are then shocked when you decide to actually stand up for yourself or stand up for what's right, and you get a bit of a backlash because people are like, oh, you've changed, or what's got up your bottom, or why are you being bitchy all of a sudden, or why are you being diva, when actually you're just doing what you should have done all along, and that's kind of stand up for yourself and stand up for what's right. So, God, I've gone off on a tangent, sorry. Are you living your dream? In short, I'm afraid to say I'm not living my dream, not even close. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm really struggling at the moment because I'm not really where I want to be in any area of my life at the moment. Things aren't really clicking into place, and I keep waiting for that moment for things to kind of start panning out a bit more smoothly. And maybe that's not what life's about, maybe that doesn't happen, but it does seem like an uphill struggle a lot of the time. I think if I was doing what I was doing and kind of people felt me worthy of getting paid for it, that would be nice, because it does seem unfair that, like, I am providing something, I'm working really hard, but I'm not getting any reward. I don't have any bosses or colleagues, so I don't even get recognition from people saying, oh, you're doing a good job, or you're working hard, we can see that, or even recognising that I'm putting the effort in, because I just don't have colleagues or those people in my life. And when you're also not getting any financial reward, in fact I lose money every time I do an interview on my channel because of the commute. So actually I might have to stop, to be honest, because there has to be a point when you say, okay, this isn't happening. No one's going to give me that chance to get to that level where I can make money, so I've got to call it a day. But it's hard when you've put so many years into it and to then go, okay, I've got to just stop doing it, because you always think, oh, maybe tomorrow will be the day that something changes, but it doesn't seem to happen. It's quite annoying because my dream nearly happened, I guess it was a couple of years ago now. As I created a pilot, it was broadcast quality, for a TV show, for my own rock show, It got I was talking with the commissioner of the channel, and everything was going really well. Everything was pointing to the fact that it was going to be fully commissioned, it was going to be a series, it was going to be on proper TV. And then the commissioner I was dealing with left, so I was back at square one, and then I got informed that there was no longer any budget for new content for the channel. So I wasted a lot of time and a lot of money, and my dream got quashed. So that was quite devastating. And you know, I'd love it if like magazine like Kerrang, Rock Sound, Q, Rolling Stone, any of them would allow me to do interviews for them or anything, but you quite often don't get replies when you email, which is just par for the course. You just got to keep trying, hope someone will make the effort to reply at some point. If you would like me to do like podcasts for a magazine like Kerrang, why not tweet the editor and tell him that there's someone here that would really love to do the job for them. I don't know, it might help, might not, might make them even more inclined to ignore me, who knows. Anyway, so sadly, Marie, I'm not living the dream, but I am extremely blessed in a lot of ways. Oh, I've really got to stop moaning. So, oh, I remember I had another question on my Twitter. What piece of art that you've done are you most proud of? I guess the degree piece to it, which led to me getting a first, which was like always my goal. Uni was a really tough time for me. I don't know whether I've discussed why before, but there was a sexual harassment issue while I was at uni, which added a hell of a lot of stress to my time there. But yeah, anyway, that's a whole other video topic perhaps, I don't know. So yeah, like I said, it was all about cyborgs and the merging of humans and technology, because at that point, you know, YouTube wasn't a big thing as it is now, but I was seeing that people were more and more attached to their devices and things like that, and I just wanted to explore that a bit more. Annoyingly, I never videoed the installation, because the whole point of it was so multi-sensory. It was about the sound, the visuals, everything, but from a photo you can only see kind of a 2D version of it, but I'll put it up anyway. Hey Nikki, by the way. Oh, Chelsea Louise, you tweeted me one about how did you get into interviewing bands and artists. I've answered that already, but thanks for sending in a question. You're also lovely to me on Twitter, so thank you. So, and breathe. So that is it. I hope I haven't been too grumpy and negative in that. I don't want to sugarcoat things for you guys. I want to be honest about it, because I don't want to give you unrealistic kind of a view of what my life is like, or what the life of someone doing what I do is, because it's not all that it seems. It's not all glamour and exciting. The music industry is a weird beast. There's a lot wrong with it, to be honest, but perhaps that's another video topic as well. So yeah, I hope you got something out of this video. Boys, there's still 39% of my subscribers are boys. I checked my analytics for the first time ever. So are there any videos more aimed at you guys that you'd like to see that I can deliver for you? Let me know. And girls, as always, comment if there's anything you'd like to see as well, whether you want more vlog type things, whether you want more day in the life things, whether you want more lookbooks, whether you... whatever you want, I'm here to deliver. So thanks for watching. Have a good week. I've got my smear tomorrow, so that's a joy. So yeah, I'll let you know how that goes if you want to know.